little tighter than it needed to be, looked like, Coach.
Man, they all like that.
Let me ask you about that first half. It looked like somebody snuck saran wrap in there and put it over the hoop. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing was falling. Was it just tense, tight? I mean, everybody
You know,
back?
it's probably a combination of everything. Hey, credit Norfolk, right? You know, we know each other really well, so we ain't about to surprise them. They not about to surprise us. And you know, we got so many new guys. We got 10 new guys, and you know, it was different because our leader was out, Devin Gordon. So he's our heart and soul. He's the glue. He keeps everything together. So Timmy got to start tonight, and he's giving me everything. He's a walk-on, man. The kid fights his heart out for me, right? And so I think he was a bit nervous, and you know, I just told them, look, sometimes good teams got to win in different ways, not just when the basketball is going in the hole. Like anybody can do that, right? And say I got hot, but what about when you cold? What's your commitment to the defensive end of the floor, right? We shot 34%, but they only shot 35, so they was cold in the second half too. And I told them in the locker room, this ain't a basketball game; it's a street fight, and street fights aren't going to be pretty. And you got to be prepared. You got to be mentally tough. It's going to be some ups and downs, some highs and lows, some ebbs and flows. But the tougher team is going to prevail. And I thought we were really tough in the beginning of the second half. I wasn't worried at halftime because I told my staff, I was like, we shot the ball terrible, right? We missed 3 layups. We was fouling way too much. I think they had 15 points in the first half off the free throw line. Right, look, let's just play without fouling. Let's make sure we maintain our discipline. And we did that in the first 7 minutes of the second half, and we were able to get a bit of a cushion. And I thought, you know, Fred did a good job, and JD did a good job of driving the basketball. Got the fourth on Thomas, and you know, that was huge. But they got players, man, and you know, they were down a couple of guys. We're down 3 or 4 guys. So, you know, it's such is life right now. It ain't what you're capable of; it's what you're willing to do. And, you know, we were willing to get nasty and dirty. Fred was 3 for 17, but I think that's the most proud I am of him ever since his career here. You know, that's the best game I think he's played in terms of overall competing, right? Because little guys got a tendency to, you know, fade away when the ball is not going in the bucket. But he stepped up and made significant plays at significant times, and Po' Boy hit a huge 3 and got some critical rebounds as well.
Coach, you told Darius when that little conversation after you went on that 7-0 run was to take it to the hole, try to force the issue with these guys?
Yeah, I thought he started off settling, right? I thought he was just trusting his jump shot too much, and you know, just work your way inside out, right? And I don't think their defense was as great on him. I just thought he assisted them. They were playing good defense, but it wasn't great defense because he was settling, you know, for contested threes, and that's ultimately, or contested twos, that's what they want to give him. So I said, look, mix it up and, you know, trust yourself and ball fake and get to the rim and put 2 feet in the paint and just go from there. And once you he got a couple of layups to start the second half, and I thought that opened the basket for him.
What's going through your mind, LeVelle, when Norfolk State steps back 3 and the ball is going up in the air?
Oh, Lord. Dear God, please. Right? It's every time we play them, it's this type of game, right? Every single time, and it's gonna be that way. It's fun. I love it. Honestly, I know my cholesterol and blood pressure and all of that stuff is up right now, but you know, it's what we signed up for, man. I'm a fighter, so I just love the competition, and it's great. It's MEAC basketball in early January, right? And so they bring out the best in us, and I'm sure we bring out the best in them. And it was a hard-fought victory. We're going to enjoy this for 24 hours, and then we got to go back and get on the road because it's going to be tougher on the road in the MEAC for us.
You know, Coach, talked about the team not having a great shooting night tonight. Starting off 3 for 19, but the Eagles in the second half were able to ignite the nest with big plays from JD and Fred. As the game just kind of went on in the second half, just how did you see the game unfold?
I knew it would be a game such as this, right? It's like it's you know, you guys see it all the time. I don't care what sport it is, the Yankees and the Red Sox or Duke, Carolina, or Michigan, Ohio State. It's ugly. It ain't, you know, touchdown after touchdown or 3-point after 3-point. It's just, it gets to a point where it's extremely ugly. And that's what makes it a rivalry, because now it boils down to who wants this more, right? And that's what I just tried to reemphasize to these guys. Like, you got to want it. Like, we work too hard to get to a coulda, shoulda, woulda place and come in this film session tomorrow and say coulda, shoulda, woulda. I hate those words. So I saw it unfold, and the way it unfolded with new teams, it's a certain phase, and it's tears that you have to get them accustomed to, right? It's so many new guys. We got to teach them, number one, how to work and prepare. Right? They don't know how to work and prepare. With all due respect from where they come from, they don't know how to work and prepare every single day, right? I demand excellence from them every single day. Po Boy's behind, and he probably like, man, why is this dude yelling at me about my T-shirt or how to walk from this spot to that spot or how I chew my gum? Everything matters, right? How you do anything is how you do everything. So you got to teach them how to work and prepare. Then you have to teach them how to play your way, and then you got to teach them how to win. So it's best to learn how to win after you win and go back and correct and rectify those things, but we'll take it.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
So taking down Norfolk State tonight and then Howard on Saturday, how do you keep your team confident going throughout the season? That, this is 2 good wins, but, we got to keep going.
Oh, we going to stay humble. When I break down this tape tonight, I'll be up to 1 o'clock. Breaking it, I'll text Po Boy at 2 o'clock and say, look, you ain't boxed out right here. You did this. And so, so when they go out here, them little girls will tell them how cute they are and how they baby hair look and they braids and all that. And I'll follow that up because I was a student here too. So I know how it go when you walk out that door. I think the ratio out here is 17-1, and they ready to go party with all 17 at one time. They gonna tell them how good they look and everything. But I will follow that up in film session tomorrow and let them know you're not as cute as you think you are because you ain't boxed out right here. You missed this defensive assignment. So it's what it is, man. We'll digest this. It's a great win for 24 hours, but I think we're off for 10 days or something like that. So we'll just continue to prepare and get ourselves better because we got a lot of work to do.
That was what I was going to ask you. You got a long stretch here before you play again, and then the next 3 on the road. I know you only look at them 1 at a time, but what do you tell your team? I mean, how do you go through the stretch here without playing and,
Yeah, we'll get after it and just try to manage. It's really difficult. This is a challenge for me. Like 10 days off is like, oh man, like because Christmas coming back, it was first 2 practices was terrible, right? And so you got to get the mac and cheese and green beans out from underneath them. So I'll sit down with the staff and see how we're going to manage and monitor their legs, but still get some really good work and really good repetitions for these guys because we got to get better 6 through 10 too, right? The 1 through 5 is okay, but 6 through 10 we got to be more trustworthy and dependent, and I got to do a better job of developing those guys right now. So here within these next 10 days, we're going to try to utilize that time to develop them.
John took a question right before that. I was going to ask you, but I wanted to ask you. You got guys that can shoot when they're on, they can shoot the lights out, but when they're off, it gets kind of icy cold. How do you? I know shooters shoot when they're on and when they're off shoot, but how do you keep them? How do you get them hot again without taking the entire team, the entire game?
Well, yeah, it's really no art to that. They just got to continue to let it fly, right? The thing about me being on that wall up there, I told them my pitch ain't up there for assists, right? Like I'm just telling you now, I could pass it, but that wasn't on my mind, right? And so I think it helps that I played their position, so I can give them that confidence and tell them, look, start close and then work your way out. Basketball is a little more difficult when you start out and start in, right? You got to see the ball go through the hole. And I always tried to start with a layup and get a couple of free throws and now get a mid-range and then get a 3 and so on and so forth as opposed to working it. We run a lot of stuff and a lot of opportunities for them to get that. But I think our best offense is always when we get defensive stops. So now we're able to get out in transition. So that's where I try to emphasize to them, look, it ain't going to be 5-on-5. It's going to be a stop, and now you get to run the floor, get a paint touch, and you kick and make the extra pass, and now you'll be open. I thought Poe did a good job of doing that. JD and Fred did a good job later on in the first half and towards the second half doing that. And they play really well together, right? Poe is kind of new to that duo. So he's learning how and when and where to be with them, but they do a good job of sharing the basketball.